it together.
Hey folks, welcome back to Better Together. I am Matthew Surber.
I'm Reverend Carissa Surber.
And we're really excited to be bringing you lessons of marriage and education in the church and in our relationships and seeing how they can teach us to love one another well.
Today's topic, we're talking about a concept that I like to shorthand by talking about the importance of working at a round table and not a square table. Okay, sounds strange, right? It sounds like I'm on the home decor channel, but hang with me. This is my shorthand for how we relate to each other when we tackle a problem. For the square table, which is what not to do, and full confession, we have a rectangle table right here. So I'm fine with home decor using a rectangle table. But I'm thinking about, like, picture in your mind a conference table and two people sitting across the table from each other, each with their own lawyer, like hashing out a deal, right? Like me against you, and there's a table in between us, right? That square table, that rectangle table, that setup where when we're tackling the problem, it's you versus me versus you, who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. One of us is gonna come out on top, one of us isn't, right?
Yeah.
So that's that tactic of conflict resolution. Whereas a round table, I think about like the dining room table I grew up around was an oval table. And so there was no one side to it. Of course, you can still sit across from someone, literally. But it's this idea that we're all gathered around the table together as a family. And when you're in a family or a marriage or a friendship or a relationship or a church, we're in this together. And so tackling problems around a round table says like, hey, I'm in it with you. I'm on your side. We're all in this together. And so that's the shorthand that I have. Round table versus square table, especially when we're confronting a challenge or a conflict that we have to deal with.
Right. And there's the sense of equality around that round table. And so when we think about it, specifically in our marriage, we learned really early on that we needed to work as a couple against the problem. If we were dealing with something, if we were trying to, struggle something out, whatever it was, that we needed to be on the same team versus whatever the problem was. And one of the things that I really like to teach when I'm teaching sort of conflict resolution is this idea that you are coming alongside that person. You're not chastising them. You're not jumping down their throat. It's not confrontational. It's co-regulating is one of the things that we call, right? Help me, help you. So allow me to be present next to you in this moment, as opposed to me needing to be across from you. And I really like the phrase that people aren't problems.
Right.
And so it's really whatever that problem is out there, it's us trying to resolve that problem together.
Yeah. And so in our faith lives, I think of this coming up a couple different places. When you were saying like come alongside, I was picturing like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, right? And they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. Jesus has died. Everything's fallen apart. We're just lost. And Jesus doesn't like tackle them and tell them they're wrong and wag his finger. Jesus literally comes alongside them and listens to what they're experiencing and then shares his point of view. And so for Jesus, it's like, hey, the whole goal here is understanding and love in God's kingdom. So I'm going to come alongside you in this. Psalm 118, 5-6 says, out of my distress, I called on the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me in a broad place. Picture like a healthy green meadow. And it says, with the Lord on my side, I do not fear. What can mortals do to me? With the Lord on my side, right? That's that key. So when it comes to questions of faith or questions of doubt or skepticism or feeling like, my God, why have you forsaken me? Certainly, like, we all go through those feelings. But when it comes down to it, it's never going to be you versus God. It's never like something's gone wrong in my life and now me versus God, I guess God has it out for me. That's not how this works. The Lord is on your side. God is on your side. Jesus is coming alongside you, walking with you on that road, even after everything's fallen apart. And so what I would urge to you is don't put yourself across the table in litigation with God, but instead allow God to come alongside you on the same team, part of God's family. Don't abandon ship when things get hard. Instead, turn to God. Have that posture of curiosity where we say to God, okay, what's going to happen next, God? Here we go. We're in this together, right? It's you and me together facing whatever may come. So this has been our idea for Better Together. If this idea of facing a problem as a team rather than making your teammate your opponent, if this idea resonates with you, I hope you'll share this with folks that might benefit from it. And until next time, remember, love God, love your neighbors, and we're always better when we're together.
Amen.